Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé Season 8, Episode 15, Love Me or Leave Me. Welcome to all my new subscribers, and hello to those of you who've been down with me since 1928. Since the beginning. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this video on any social media platform that you deem fit. Guys, I am on Clubhouse and I am learning so much from you guys on Clubhouse. I am getting so much information from people on Clubhouse. So if you are on Clubhouse, please go on and follow me. You can find me at Wahima Lino on Clubhouse and you'll see my picture and you'll recognize this face. So I want to give a special shout out to some of my 90 Day Fiancé recappers, reviewers. There's a podcast that's called I Want My Podcast, and it's run by Miguel and his wonderful wife, and they talk about 90 Day Fiancé weekly. Let's make sure that is correct. All right, just want to support anybody out there that does 90 Day Fiancé content. I want this to be a safe environment, a loving environment for all of these content creators, girl. You can find Miguel on Instagram at 90DF, I Want My Podcast. All right, you guys, let's jump right into this episode. The first couple that we are going to talk about is Jovi and Yara. So where we left off is they're in the airport. Yara isn't sure if she wants to go to Vegas or go home to Ukraine. Surprise, surprise, she goes to Vegas. However, they don't fly into Vegas, which I find to be very interesting, and I don't understand why. They're in a car driving from somewhere to Vegas with Jovi and his friends, and Yara mentions that at first she invited his mother. Then he invited his friends and some other people. So now this wedding is turning into a bigger deal than what she initially wanted. And I don't understand why Jovi just didn't keep it to a minimum. It makes sense to invite the mother, but now he's inviting all these people. He cannot figure out a good way to balance his friend group and Yara at all. They're in the car and we hear someone yell, "Let's go to Vegas, bitches!" And we realize now that this is the most basic vehicle on the road. It's a basic vehicle with basic ass people in it. And they get to some kind of dinosaur diner, which is like a roadside attraction. And guess who's not attracted or excited about it at all? Yara. So Yara calls her homegirl and she's so sad that she leaves a long, sad voicemail to her friend telling her how sad she is. Jovi doesn't hear this, however, because he's too busy having a good time with his friends, taking selfies. He realizes that she's not, the normal 20 steps behind him. She just says she's okay because what can she do? She doesn't want to have a bad attitude in front of his friends. She doesn't want to come off standoffish and weird. I mean, I know they can feel it, but she's doing her best to try to balance her own feelings with how she's supposed to be feeling about being in a car with these people. So while in the car, we discover a couple of things. 1, Jovi doesn't have a suit. 2, Jovi doesn't have the rings. 3, Jovi doesn't have the marriage license. He says that he's a fly by the seat of his pants type of guy, and in his life, things like this have always worked out in the past, so he is pretty confident that everything will be okay, and everyone in the car is side-eyeing the hell out of him. Then someone brings up a prenup, and Yara doesn't even know what a prenup is, and when they tell her, she's like, what am I gonna do? Take half of what? What, nothing that he has? No. As they're approaching the hotel, and they split off from their friends, Jovi makes some plans to come down in the lobby bar as soon as possible. Again, this is where I'm just like, Jovi, why aren't you able to read or pick up on Yara's emotions? So Yara does the adult thing and talks to him before they go downstairs. And she says to him, Jovi, this is supposed to be our weekend. And right now, it's not our weekend. It is your weekend. I'm starting to feel like you don't care about me. You don't love me and you don't put me first. I don't want to go downstairs and hang out with your friends. What I want to do when we're here is I want to enjoy some time with you. I want to spend time with you because I love you, Jovi. And he says, okay, you're right. I haven't been thinking about your feelings and we won't go out with my friends tonight. I'm going to do better and I'm going to spend more time with you. And it is like the clouds part and the sun comes out and we're like, oh my God, he's growing up. How long that's gonna last, the world may never know. Next couple, Natalie and Mike. Okay, so I thought we were gonna push the narrative a little bit further, but we didn't. Nothing happened. Nothing happened besides Natalie being rude to Beau. So Natalie is packing up And she's, you know, filming at the same time, by the way. It is like remarkable how she's acting and crying, yet filming at the same time. She's got the different camera angles. Like, Natalie is all about documenting this process. Beau helps her load her items into the back of the truck, which low-key he's probably very excited to do because he's gonna get his room back in the house that he likes to live in. So he's like, no problems, and so she's like, oh, Beau, thank you, Beau, and best of luck, you know, maybe we can keep in touch. Honestly, Beau, we won't be keeping in touch. I won't be able to contact you, and no, it's just, no, I'm sorry, that's not something that I want to do. You know, you just needed to give Beau a hug and say, I'm sorry for kicking you out, and I'm sorry for maybe some behavior, and you really are the best, Beau, and I wish you all the best of luck. Mike comes out looking sad. She records him and he's just like, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. And she's like, Mike, what do you want me to say, Mike? I don't, what? So she gets into the car. She's like, Mike, I can't talk to you, Mike. No. And he's like, Natalie, will you just talk to me? I'm really sorry. And she's like, no, Mike, you've done, what can I do? Oh, no. And she starts to boo-hoo, saying, you know, basically, I'm not going to talk to you ever again. This is it. I don't forgive you. No. Tamara, let's go. Tamara, let's go. Next episode, however, seems like there's a little bit of drama and some interesting things that happen. So we're going to wait to really talk about them next episode. Next couple that we're going to talk about is Tariq and Hazel. Okay, so it is Hazel's bachelorette weekend. They're trying to get Ari into a dress in which she does not and is not interested in being in. Tariq plans a bachelorette party for Hazel, and she's not aware of this. She thinks that Angela has planned it, but no, Tariq has gone on ahead and got her a stripper, the kind of stripper that she enjoys, a dark-skinned, big-bootied stripper. Angela's not with it, so once the stripper gets to the hotel room, Angela beehives out of there because she's like, this is not my scene. There's 3 people in attendance at this bachelorette party. 2 of them are Tariq's good homegirls, and one of them is a friend that Hazel has met online but has never gotten in contact with this person in real life, never seen this person in real life, and the person came out during the coronavirus to be at her bachelorette party. So I guess it all worked out. We get a most expressive Hazel during this time. She's like, ooh, I love this spot. Hazel also tells her parents about her being bisexual. So it's weird. It's a weird scene because we're like, why are you doing this in front of the cameras? Like, what is the purpose of this? Like, this is kind of awkward, but maybe they needed something to push the storyline forward. And you figured since you're in the US and your parents can't actually do anything to you, you might as well tell them that you're bisexual. And so she does. And the mother can't handle it. The father is like, you do whatever you want to do. P.S. Wherever it is that Hazel's parents are in the Philippines, it looks beautiful. I want to go there. I want to be in that sun. I want to like walk on that lawn. And then there's also a third person in the scene who they don't tell us who that is. Oh, let's go back to Natalie and Mike. Girl, so we find out that Mike has purchased her a ticket to France, and then from France she'll figure out how to get into Ukraine. So right now she's just like going to France, and she says that she thinks Mike is weak. He's a weak man and he's a monster, and she's going to run out of her visa in 3 days, and she doesn't want to be illegal here in the US of A. And she's right, Mike is weak. So the next couple that we're going to begrudgingly talk about is Andrew and Amira. So the gaslighter Andrew, he tells production that he's got some news. Production is scrambling the setup, and we find out that Amira didn't get on the flight. He doesn't explain to us why Amira didn't get on the flight. And so the only thing that he says is, I failed. That's the only thing I'm thinking right now. Then we cut to Amira, who has been over dramatizing the way she's feeling in Serbia, which, I mean, it might be the way she's feeling, but girl, I mean, you'll be fine. We found out that the reason why Amira did not get on the plane to go to the US and meet Andrew was because Andrew gave her a choice. They apparently had been fighting that entire night. He purchased her a ticket to France and told her to make a choice. You either come to the US and be with me and have these babies, or you go back to France. And so they were arguing because he was there gaslighting her, telling her that, you know, she was wrong for not wanting, I guess, to have kids with him and hang out with his sister and his brother-in-law going camping. Like, yes, the girl who, like, all she wants to do is wear dresses and makeup is going to go to Roseville and, like, meet your family and go camping. So he says a lot of things to her that were dumb and upsetting to her and caused her to cry and be angry. We all know he's passive aggressive and everything he does in front of the camera is put on and fake. And it's because he's a weak little nerdy serial killer, okay? Then she was also thinking about all the things that her father said, and she was like, yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I agree. Next couple that we're going to talk about is Rebecca and Zied. We have this episode where Rebecca is just flustered. I mean, she's frustrated that she has to plan this wedding by herself. I don't know why she thought that Zied was going to be able to. They have completely different marriage customs, wedding customs, and I don't even think if he was in his own country, he'd be really planning his wedding. I really feel like the bride's family and his mother and sister would be planning the wedding. Luckily, she was able to still get that cabin area situation to have it. So she does have her venue, but her dress is too small. She lost her ring, and then she doesn't like what Zied is wearing. So Zied says that he's wearing a red jacket, which it turns out the jacket is not red, it's like burgundy, and blue shoes. And so she's side-eyeing him because she doesn't like what he's gonna wear to the wedding. So she takes him to Target. They get into Target and they're not wearing any masks. The fitting rooms are closed. And she's like, well, I don't understand, I'm getting married and he needs to try on this outfit. And the person's like, okay, well, you cannot try them on. Buy 3 sizes, take him home, find the right one, and then return the others, Rebecca. It's the American way. The fact that the dress doesn't fit is bad luck and it must be a sign. Okay, Rebecca, okay. Also, she can't make a wedding cake because of something. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but was she gonna bake her own wedding cake? Girl, you're the one who wants this type of wedding. Zied just wanted to go to the courthouse and sign some papers. And now you're frustrated about all these things that are stopping you or showing as this isn't meant to be or it's bad luck. It's like, stop making stuff up for the cameras. Your production, whoever is over her storyline, is boring the shit out of me. So then we see a conversation between Zied and Weem. His sister is so rude and bitchy, and I have nothing positive to say about her. She really doesn't support this marriage because she's like, it's bad luck to marry a woman who's been in a relationship or who's been married 3 different times. There's obviously something wrong with her. And that's just a huge cultural difference. So as much as like I'm annoyed at Weem because of the way she treated Rebecca when she saw her face to face, that was wrong. But like the fact that she thinks the things that she thinks about Rebecca due to Rebecca having been married 3 times, like I can't fault her for that. It's just a difference in culture and understanding of what marriage is. I strongly believe that Rebecca and Zied are gonna have problems within the next 5 years. Zied is going to want to have kids. And I don't know if this is a storyline that they're holding on for, you know, happily ever after season 25. It's not something I want to see, but there's going to be a problem. There's no way that Zied doesn't want kids eventually. Okay, so the next couple that we're going to talk about is Stephanie and Ra Harris. So in this segment, Harris and Stephanie have had a perfect 2 days and they're going to the beach, and there is this outfit that she's wearing where it's like a long sleeve shirt and bikini bottom, and I don't quite understand like what's happening. Is it cold? Is it not cold? Like why is there not like a beautiful like caftan or like beach overlay or something, you know? Why that shirt, Stephanie? Then Harris climbs a tree to get a coconut. He climbs a tree barefooted, which is like a real skill and talent. The bottom of his feet must be real tough, you know what I'm saying, to be able to like up, get the coconut. And so they go and sit at the pier, and she's talking about what a lovely time they're having and how amazing everything is and how wonderful Harris has been. And I think she only mentions Ryan like 3 times. She says that Harris is a real man, and of course the sex is phenomenal. This is Harris's last day with Stephanie because he has to get back to his regular life. She's very sad about this because she's like, I have to cancel the K1 visa with Ryan. She asks Harris if he'd be willing to give this all up, you know, give up paradise to come with her to Michigan. And he's like, yes, Steph, I just want to be with you. I love you. This is a great opportunity for him and his family. If he goes to the US and makes enough money to send home or uses her money to send home, like it's a win-win situation. He'll deal with the frigid temperatures. Because Harris is so like, yeah, I'm ready to go, she's like, that leaves me cause to concern because I don't want you just jumping into this because you just want a fast ticket to the US. Like, I really want to know that what you're saying to me is real. And I'm like, Stephanie, obviously what he's saying to you is not real. Stop. What? I don't understand. Stephanie, Stephanie, it's not real. Okay? This man doesn't want to be with you. He likes the things that you're able to give him and you're okay to look at. She says that she needs to speak to Emma, which is his ex, and that she really wants to better understand their relationship, where they are in their relationship, and she doesn't want to feel like she's leaving Harris behind and he's gonna run back to her. So part of her wanting to get to know Emma means that she stalks his Facebook, and she found a picture from 3.5 weeks ago from his birthday where the woman he's been with for 14 years is leaning over and smiling in the camera. Stephanie has deduced that this means that she is still in love. Like those are eyes of a woman who's in love. And Harris is like, Stephanie, I don't know what you're saying. Like, it was my birthday. She wanted to show a good time. Like, we're all having fun. Like, why wouldn't she smile in the picture? So the last couple that we're going to talk about is Brandon and Julia. Honestly, I didn't really watch their segment because Brandon frustrates me. But basically, the beginning of this is Ron is getting his hair cut by Betty. Brandon comes over and tells her to put her glasses on so she can better see. And they start talking about him being with Julia. And he says that he really does love Julia and he wants to marry her. But bottom line, the reason why he wants to marry her is because he knows he has a limited amount of time before she's going to have to go back. And so he's marrying her because he isn't ready to give her up. He says that when him and Julia are good, they are really, really good. And so he's holding on to those good times. Some loud ass kid with their loud ass motorcycle. We all know that this is disaster because Brandon's not a man and Julia needs a man. They've discovered that they really cannot get married in the fashion that they want to. In fact, Betty and Ron have a conversation with the kids to push up their wedding and maybe just do a courthouse simple situation because coronavirus has hit Virginia hard and they're not going to be able to do all the things that they want to do, and all of the, official buildings are going to shut down soon, so they want to kind of get it in because they don't know when everything's going to go back up and her visa could expire in the meanwhile. And then briefly Brandon and Julia have a conversation in their bed, to which Julia gets upset and walks out. I don't know what the conversation was, but I'm pretty sure it was Brandon being sarcastic and rude to her and making her feel like she's crazy for the things that she wants. And also like being like, well, I don't want the same thing that you want when it comes to this wedding. Like, I'm not going to pretend that something is when it isn't. And she just yells at him and she gets up and walks away. And I agree. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he said, but I'm pretty sure that it was condescending and rude. All right, you guys, so that's the end of this recap. Thank you so much for watching. Let's have a kiki and a conversation down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of this episode. This was a weird filler episode. I think next episode's gonna be so much better. I'm waiting for this season to be done. Like, how long could this season possibly be? We know it's gonna be a 2-hour tell-all done via Zoom. Why are there 15 regular episodes? There shouldn't be 16, which we know that there are. When is the tell-all? But these couples are boring. Let's move on. Super, super excited about Happily Ever After that's coming out. We've got Asuelu and Kalani. We've got Angela and Michael. And we've got Libby and Andre. And any opportunity to see Andre possibly without his shirt on. All right, you guys, don't forget to share this video on any social media platform that you deem fit. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up. And you guys have a fantastic week. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. You guys stay on YouTube. Check out these videos. Support your girl, okay, and the content that she's putting out for you. Is there a show you guys want me to check out? I think that I'm going to check out Finding a Sister Wife. It comes on tonight. Should I review that? Let me know.